What's up everyone, Chimera45 here, and we are back with another Dragon Ball Super review. This week's episode was episode 9 of the English dub. So it starts off as every other episode has, with a recap of last week's episode, how Beerus was getting ready to destroy the Earth, and Goku shows up and stops him by promising him a way to maybe find a Super Saiyan God for him to fight. And Beerus is like, okay. So it starts off with the title screen. Thanks for waiting, Lord Beerus. A Super Saiyan God is born at last. So it cuts over to Goku getting the Dragon Balls from Trunks and Goten, and Beerus is like, those look like wish orbs, but they're a lot smaller unless my mind's playing tricks on me. And Whis like, no, you're right, the wish orbs here are a bit smaller than they were on other planets. And Goku gathers up the Dragon Balls and summons Shenron. And the Pilaf gang was rowing away from the boat, but they see the dragon, and Pilaf shouts at them that he was right, and they start rowing back towards the boat. And Goku asks Shenron if it's possible for him to bring a Super Saiyan God there if one exists, because Lord Beerus is going to destroy the planet if not. And this causes Shenron to actually start to freak out, and it's hysterical seeing Shenron scared. He's like talking really politely to Beerus. He's saying how it's an honor to meet him and all that. And Beerus is like, it's okay, just don't talk too much, just bring a Super Saiyan God here if it's possible. And Shenron's like, it's not possible, and this pisses Beerus off really badly. And Shenron's like, but I can tell you how to make one if that's okay. And Beerus just looks at him, so Shenron's like, okay, you have to have 5 Saiyans channel their energy into 1 Saiyan, and that will bring forth the Super Saiyan God, more or less. And Beerus is like, interesting. So Shenron's like, okay, I gave you the information you wanted, so I'm out of here. And he just splits. And everyone's kind of like laughing, like, wow, it's the first time we've ever seen Shenron nervous. So Beerus is like, okay, now that you know what to do, go on and summon forth the Super Saiyan God, or I'll destroy everything. And Goku's like, I kind of got a little confused. Did anyone else follow? So Gohan comes in and rescues his father as usual, and tells him that we need 5 Saiyans in order to do this with righteous hearts. And Piccolo's like, well, we're screwed because Vegeta doesn't have a righteous heart. And Master Roshi and Chi-Chi actually surprisingly stand up for Vegeta. And Goku's like, well, we have to at least give it a shot. Vegeta's like, whatever. And so Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goten hold hands, and Gohan and Vegeta put their hands on Goku's shoulders and start channeling their power to him. Goku gets a really huge spike in power, but as he's powering up, Whis is like, oh, yeah, you guys are doing that wrong. Was I the only one paying attention? Whis is so smug. I mean, he has a right to be, but still, it's sometimes unnecessary. And so he explains that you don't need 5 Saiyans, you actually need 6. 5 Saiyans have to channel their power into 1 Saiyan. So Goku starts freaking out, like, we only have 5 Saiyans. So Beerus is like, well, then your luck's run out. Starts powering up, getting ready to blow up the Earth. And then Videl of all people, pokes her head up out of nowhere and is like, excuse me. Gohan's like, whoa, back up. But she's like, bitch, get off me. That's just what went through my mind, like, when I saw the scene. It was pretty, just, funny thing in my head. And she's like, well, I'm not trying to say it'll work or anything, but I have a quarter Saiyan growing inside me. And everyone's like, what? And they start freaking out, and Gohan's like, we're really gonna have a baby? And she's like, yeah. And he starts jumping up and down. It's a cool moment. And then Satan comes out of nowhere and, like, elbows Gohan in the stomach and then backhands him in the face. It's like, it's not, he doesn't actually do that, but the shot makes it look like it happens. Like, just look at the picture. It looks like he elbows him and just backhanded him. It's hysterical. So everyone's, everyone's celebrating, getting all happy. Chi-Chi's prying about all kinds of things, like due dates and names and all that. Krillin congratulates Goku for becoming a grandfather. And Beerus gets pissed off. He doesn't like everyone getting happy and ignoring him. So he yells at them to summon forth the Super Saiyan God or else. And Goku's like, are we sure this will actually work? Gohan's like, well, if there's a chance that it will save the Earth, we have to at least try. So Goku's like, sure. And besides, it'd be really cool to become a Super Saiyan God. So they all join hands and focus on Goku again, with Beerus looking down on him. But after a few moments, Goku's like, this isn't working. Maybe Vegeta isn't as pure as we thought he was. This episode had a lot of humor in it. I found this a very funny episode. Vegeta's like, hey, don't put this on me. So then Goku's like, well, maybe it's the kid. Maybe the kid's heart isn't righteous. And Gohan and Videl yell at him for talking bad about their baby. And Goku's like, oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. And Gohan's like, okay, let's just concentrate harder. So everyone closes their eyes, and Beerus senses something, and that suddenly Videl's stomach starts to glow. And everyone looks at her like, whoa, what's going on with Videl? And suddenly her hair goes golden like a Super Saiyan, and the other four's hair goes Super Saiyan. And this like plasma-y energy surrounds them, and Goku goes Super Saiyan as well. And then this weird light starts to surround them. If you've ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho, this golden energy right here kind of reminds me of Sensui's sacred energy. Kind of reminds me of that coloration design, you know? And Beerus is looking down and he's like, oh, this is divine energy. And the sky darkens and these yellow clouds form around the boat, and the ocean starts to form whirlpools, and the waters turn golden. Beerus is looking like, wow, are they actually doing this? And then suddenly the energy around the six of them turns bright blue, and waves of energy start shooting off of them. Beerus is like, wow, this is actually going to happen. And Whis is like, yes, the energy he had a few moments ago that was so ordinary has transformed. And then we get a really funny shot of like a napkin or something blowing into Beerus's face. I'm just going to make that picture just a little bit bigger just because it's kind of funny. And then an extremely intense, bright blue energy beam shoots up from the group and pierces the yellow clouds, and the heavens are revealed. And it starts raining and hailing and lightning, and day and night cycles are going by like crazy. It basically is the birth of a god. It basically is what it is. And a bright light shines down on the group, and suddenly Goku starts to glow a really intense red. Everyone powers down from Super Saiyan, or Superhuman in Videl's case. I'm not really sure what was happening with her. And they go to the ground. Goku still glowing really bright. And Beerus is like, looks like I do get to fight this Super Saiyan god after all. And Whis is like, yes, I guess your premonition was right. And Whis saying that, reminding him about his premonition, Beerus looks at Goku a bit closer. And indeed, he remembers the premonition he had, and Goku is that warrior from his premonition. So then the light fades and Goku drops to the ground, and it reveals that the Super Saiyan form is just him, slightly thinner, a bit younger looking, maybe like a half inch or an inch taller, and just kind of like violet red hair and piercing red eyes. And everyone's looking at him stunned like, wow, is that really Goku? And Piccolo asks Dende, what do you think? You think it worked? Dende just gives him a grin. And Piccolo's like, looks like it did work. And Beerus and Whis descend from the sky, and Beerus is clapping, and he's like, well, looks like this was worth the wait. And Goku's like, yes, sorry it took me so long, Lord Beerus. And the episode ends with Beerus just getting this smile. You notice how a lot of episodes end with Beerus getting a smile? And Goku smiles as well, and he's like, now this is a fight that's going to get me excited. And that's how the episode ends. So overall, I enjoyed this episode. It had like literally no action in it, unless you count the powering up scenes as action. But literally no action, but a lot of humor, but not really kiddish humor. It was just genuine humor. I guess maybe the dragon getting scared was kind of kiddish, but still, it's just funny seeing Shenron afraid. And Piccolo saying that they're screwed because Vegeta doesn't have a righteous heart and stuff like that. It was just full of like genuine humor, in my opinion. And the animation for Goku's transformation, while a little overdone, maybe it was like the actual transformation itself, maybe a little over exaggerated, but still, it was a really well animated, and just was overall a really cool scene. Definitely felt like the birth of a god, you know, not just some new form or something, the birth of a god. I'm not even going to say anything. So, yeah, that was my review for episode 9 of the English dub. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have started to watch Dragon Ball Super. If not, you should definitely go check it out because it is getting interesting now that Goku has finally become a Super Saiyan god. And next week, we can only assume that his fight with Lord Beerus will begin. And yeah, that'll be it. So I will see you next week for the episode review. So I will see you next week for a review of episode 10. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you later.